We never simply read the Bible, we interact with it. Whether we know it or not, we're asking questions of the text and the passages. As a Western culture, we often ask Western questions. But the Bible is a Middle Eastern book, written by Middle Easterners in a Middle Eastern context, in a different place, in a different time, of a different culture, a different history, different languages. And so part of my passion in teaching the Bible in its historical, cultural context is I feel like it's helping us here in the West to learn to interact with the Bible a little bit better on its terms. One of the things that I really wanted to do in Rediscovering Israel is to bring some of the images from Israel here. And we have so many photos in the book. And the reason that was really important to me is the Bible is a book of metaphor. Jesus makes the statement, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me." Now, I'm from rural Mississippi, but when I think of a yoke here as a Westerner, I imagine two oxen yoked together plowing a field. Now, that is not a restful metaphor for me. Well, if we could go back 2,000 years to Jesus in his Jewish world, religious leaders, rabbis, Pharisees, they all have their yokes. It's their interpretations of the biblical text. And so when you follow a rabbi in Jesus's world, you're agreeing to take on his interpretations of the text. What Jesus is saying there when he says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." What is it about Jesus's yoke that causes us rest? He's the one doing the work. He's the one seeking out the lost. If you've ever thought that the Bible is old, that the Bible is out of date, I don't have sheep in my backyard, and I don't draw water out of a cistern, but you start to see what it is that the living God is trying to communicate, not just to the ancients, but to you and me today. For every single person who reads Rediscovering Israel, my heart for them, one of my goals for them, is that in some way they would shift from being a reading saint to a beholding saint. That with the words, with the photos, with the story of the Bible through a Middle Eastern lens, that they would emerge from the book transformed, renewed, encouraged. One of the most interesting things I learned in Israel is just the synagogue system. People sat along the walls with the word of the Lord in the center of the room. Everybody focused on the word of the Lord, hearing it together and processing it. The Bible is best experienced in community. It's something that we do together. So when I think of Rediscovering Israel, I hope groups of people go through it together. It's a way to inherit the word. It's a way to inherit one another. It is goodness upon goodness upon goodness. And we leave the biblical table better for having experienced it together.